What's up, man? Dude, yeah, dude. And the fact that you play guitar, too, that's so crazy.
Yeah, I play guitar, dude.
Anyways, let me start off the intro. What is up, everybody? This is MuseMe TV. We are here live. We're doing it again. Dude, it's fucking 1:30 in the morning and we're doing live podcast, dude. That's what's up. That's what's up. Thank you for joining. Thank you.
God damn right,
Thanks
dude.
again.
Cheers, brother.
This guy is an amazing local comic. He's been killing it around the scenes. Just give it up for my boy right here, Korey Herrera.
Oh, you guys are too kind.
Dude,
right,
I know, dude. The masses just know what.
Please, lady, just put your shirt back on. It's okay. I'm not here for that. I'm just here to do a podcast. You know, it's all right.
Welcome, man. Welcome, dude. What's up? Thank you for coming, dude.
Dude, 2 fucking shows tonight, man. Holy shit, dude.
Let's go over them. Tell me. Well, let's go ahead and give a little introduction of who you are and what you like to do. Because I mean, my introduction isn't a just of what you can really tell people. Well, you let them know. Tell people what's going on.
All right, cool. So my name is Korey Herrera, fucking native, right? 2 stops for gas. Holy shit, dude.
That shit.
Fucking 2 stops for gas to get all the way here. I got lost twice. Fucking white lady with a fucking yarmulke on was like throwing shit to me. And I don't know why this white lady was wearing a yarmulke, right?
She's like, get out
Maybe
of here.
she identifies as a male Jewish person. I don't know, you know. But I found the place. I'm happy to be here. It got fucking Hey Arnold fucking tablecloth here. It's brilliant.
It's a classic, dude. It's the old school.
I fucking love that shit. You know what I love about Hey Arnold?
Tell me.
It's like it's diverse without even fucking trying. You know what I mean?
That's very true.
You got all these fucking shows coming out. It's like, oh yeah, we have an Asian character here. We have a fucking black. It's like, dude, Hey Arnold didn't even have to fucking try. It was just like in the fucking mix.
Let's just throw them all in there.
This is a real side character, you know. And he's fucking Muslim, you know what I mean?
The black
He does the Quran, all that good shit, you know.
I get that.
He's just a real side character. He's not even the main piece. We don't give a fuck. You know,
trying to-
we're focusing on Arnold, but this guy, he's just here, you know.
And you know the show had to give him a backstory. You know, they're like, let's give this guy an episode. Arnold will show up once in a while, but he'll still have his own episode.
After the producer's like, you know what, we should focus on this Muslim gentleman, you know.
One time, see what it's like in his house.
What does Allah Akbar mean to him, right?
But see, that's the thing. They allowed it back then, but now it's banned.
That's weird.
Now those kind of things are banned. Are you a South Park fan?
Of course, yeah.
You know how they banned Muhammad?
I saw that shit, dude. That was brilliant.
So, like, that's crazy how back in the day, there was a Super Best Friends episode, and it did show Muhammad.
Right.
But now, it's like, we have to ban him. And then you see a little censor bar and everything over him.
Well, not to be, like, disrespectful for the Muslim people, but even, like, the showing of Muhammad, like, you can't even see him. He has a veil in his fucking face. I don't know how many people are Muslim, but, you know.
It's like a look, right? It's
yeah,
not
you can't even see the guy. So he's already censored to begin with. So, like, you're going to censor someone already censoring themselves, you know?
I get you.
It's interesting. No, people are fucking interesting, dude. Like, what people choose to be offended by and what is actually happening is a real interesting thing. So, like, I usually do, like, I love to do material that I guess some comedians say is edgy, but I don't really see it as edgy. It's just being real. You know what I mean? So, like, someone was trying to fucking lecture me about my material. Oh, it's too depreciating to natives. I was like, well, dude, I'm not running for fucking office.
Or,
you know?
You're not trying to represent every native out there either.
And that's usually my fucking beef. It's like, well, dude, there's 567 federally recognized tribes. I'm 2 of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I represent the Pueblo side. You know what I mean? So, like, you're going to have to go meet 567 other fucking people, you know, before you fucking lecture me on this bullshit. No, it's fun. But what people like, it's just like with our culture. Like, I'm very traditional. Like, I grew up on the res. I speak my language. You know, if there's any native language, if there's any Keres people, right?
So that's the language?
That's Keres, yeah. So people try to lecture me about native culture, and that's what like fucking boils my fucking, you know, it just pisses me off. It's like, dude, don't lecture me about native shit.
That stuff. What's the worst? Is it from when it's from a white person or when it's an elder?
Oh,
when it's an elder. Like,
no, I don't
do.
mind the elder because, like, the heckle behind them, there's like another intention underneath them, and I know it's fucking pure.
Yeah.
But when it's people who have no idea of the culture that we have and they try and lecture me, it's like, yeah, you need to keep the language. It's like, yeah, I know, dude. I speak the language. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
The worst is, like, whenever I meet someone, and everyone always fucking does this. It's like when I mention I'm Native American, they're like, oh yeah, my great grandma was 132nd Cherokee.
Yeah, they try to place it in there.
So, like, and sometimes I'm cool about it, but sometimes I'm a dick about it. It's like, okay, well, what's the current issue going on in your tribe? You know, what are the issues that you guys are fighting currently? And
Do you know-
usually
yeah.
if it's a blank stare. It's like, all right, cool, because we're still fighting over fucking water in 2019. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Water rights, dude.
That's crazy.
It's funny that what people choose to be offended by, or what they like intend themselves to be offended by,
or what they think other people shouldn't or should be offended by.
That's what, like, I don't identify as like left or right, Democrat or Republican, because it's all like.
There's so many. You can take sides from both of them. Like,
Right,
I always
dude.
see it that way. Like, I mean, I want to write a joke like this, but I don't know if it's going to go well. But I mean, I'm so centered that I would have a gun to kill a baby. Right? I mean, it makes sense
Yeah.
because it's really left.
Right.
Because I mean, I'm about abortion and all this, but then again, I want a gun. I want my right to have a gun. So in that sense, they do
Right.
have this divided structure so bad.
Oh yeah, no, and that's what
Already.
they're really good at doing, is just dividing people based on what they think, you know. And it's like, it's not conducive to any sort of rational thinking at all. You know, you're not getting any original thinkers out of the current climate that's happening right now. So like, that's what's funny about it. And that's what's interesting, is like, now you have people like, so on this far left spectrum, these like really radical Democrats, they don't realize what they're doing is they're imposing these really racial ideals, you
Yeah,
know,
very.
or racist ideology. So like, you'll have people coming up like, don't say that because you might offend the natives. It's like, dude, how many natives have you fucking talked to? You know?
That know that they're going to be
Right,
offended.
like comedians come up to me like, "What do you think about the redskin?" You know, I'm like, I'm not thinking about that. I'm thinking about getting fucking clean water for our people first.
Right.
You know, that's like a privileged sort of fucking thing to be offended by. But, and again, I'm one native, so I shouldn't speak for the masses. But ultimately, that's what people do.
And I'm
you
pretty
know?
sure you can have that sense of feeling of what it
dude.
feels like. I mean,
Right.
right away when you said that, I mean, it's just like,
Well, even like I researched the redskin thing, and it actually, the redskin word actually originated from people. I don't want to say Osage, but it was one of those native tribes up in the north that was cool with like the French people.
Yeah.
And the first people who actually used the word redskin, it was a French word to describe, oh yeah, we're red and we're native, and that it was unaffected by politics at all. So once that person did, and it was they were actually using it to push legislation within that specific treaty for that tribe, and it wasn't a derogatory sort of term. That's what they identified as, you know.
even they were comfortable.
And it wasn't
with
even
it.
about identity, you know what I mean? This is just a word that we use to describe ourselves,
Yeah.
you know. And like with traditional stuff, like I lecture a lot of natives regarding it, because it's like everyone's trying to take this framework from the West, which is what we're currently living in. Like the U.S. is the West, you know. So like they try to take all these political ideologies and like use it on the tradition, and I'm like, dude, it doesn't work, because we don't have those issues, you know.
That's what's crazy to think about too. Is like res life is totally different.
It's complete, and it's pretty interesting. Like in the pueblos specifically, we have 19 pueblos, and of the 19 pueblos, we have 7 Kara-speaking tribes. We have one Toa-speaking tribe, that's Jemez, and then we have, I think there's like 4 Tiwa-speaking tribes, and then there's like 6 Tewa tribes.
And they're all
We're all like isolate languages, except for the Tewa and the Tiwa. They actually belong to a language stock group called Tanawin.
Okay.
And that's like, it's interesting because it's like Kiowa people speak the same language stock, you know. But like for my tribe, Karis, we're in what's called a language isolate, meaning that there's no language that you can connect to like as an original language. So it's really weird once you like delve into it. So I learned that in Zuni, they're also an isolate language, but they have words that match up with Chinese, and which is really strange, dude.
Oh shit!
I read this
Yeah,
book.
because that's what you were explaining the other time too.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
how similar certain like that culture is. With
Right,
them.
right. And it's like when you get into that world, it's like, holy shit, dude, this is interesting. It throws all these facts and theories about where we came from, the Bering Strait bullshit and all that stuff.
The land bridge and stuff.
Right,
yeah.
dude. And I don't know, I always get Navajos trying to lecture me how they're the original people. And I'm part Navajo, so I'm Coach de Pueblo, and I'm also Navajo as well.
Okay.
But I always get Navajo people lecturing me how they're the original inhabitants of this specific land in New Mexico. And my rebuttal to them is usually like, oh, I guess I just imagine the Trail of Tears, right? You guys migrated from Florida, you know, unintentionally, you know? But and people don't like to hear the truth. That's what's the cool thing about comedy. It's like you can't fucking fake shit.
And the thing,
know?
the thing about that is like being people letting to think about what you're thinking. Like if you have this idea or what the actual of what you think is truth with your story going around it, I mean, people really think about that when they're laughing about it.
Right, dude.
I feel like that way. I mean, that's why I love those, I guess, a little more intellectual comedians.
Right,
because
dude.
they give you that punchline that you think about and you're like, holy shit, what if there is something wrong going on in like Siberia or something?
That's what I love about comedy is you can just flip all that shit on its ear, dude. You know?
Yeah.
Like, and what's cool about comedy is like, if you're not funny, the crowd will let you know, and you can't really fake that on stage. You know, like you can try. You've seen comedians try to be funny and fake themselves like before they go on stage. You know, and they go on stage and they're just not funny.
That's
like,
kind of like my cosplay joke. Yeah, you go up there to be somebody that you're not.
Right,
so,
dude. Right.
So I get what you're saying though, because
Right.
like, I mean, I don't want to throw names out there, but they try to go out there all the time, and it's just like, what's going on? Like, where is this buildup or where is this progression that's going on? Because I don't see it. I don't see it. I'm new to the scene and I'm barely starting, but yet I'm already adapting and learning so much that I'm just like,
dude.
What? How?
Well, you know what it boils down to is fucking ego. And I had this conversation with multiple people. It's like, that's all life is just wrestling with ego, you know? So like, if your ego is higher than, you know, what you're actually putting into just life, then you're gonna like struggle your whole fucking life, dude. It's just like wrestling with ego. And like, no matter who I meet, that's what it is, dude. If they're not succeeding, then if it's not, it could be to, there could be contributing factors to why they're not succeeding. But ultimately, what I see people do is like, it's just their ego, dude. You know, they can't, you know, it's like, oh, I don't deserve to be talked to that way. It's like, dude, you just fucking started. What are you talking about? You know?
Right.
We all are doing the same shit here. If you're not funny, you're not funny. Don't blame the fucking audience. And that's what, like, kind of bugs me is when people blame the audience. It's like, dude, they're there to fucking laugh. And if they're not, then it's your job to make them fucking laugh. Just fucking deal with it.
And
you know?
even if they're not there to laugh, you're still kind of that crowd work, you know? You pick the few that want to laugh. I mean, even though there's a room of like 20 people, but yet 3 people really pay attention to you. I mean, focus on them or let them get the laughs because it's kind of a contagious thing, right? I mean, I learned that from Josh. Josh was telling me about that. And it's all about when you start talking about those the crowd work. No one's really entertained, but yet you find those one, and then it's kind of like spreads like wildfire.
Right.
Everyone starts laughing because they're, oh, what is that guy laughing about over there?
Right. And I think like another thing is just acknowledging what's happening. Like a few so I guess I should probably talk a little bit more about my origin story, right?
Let's talk about it.
So like last year, I kind of set this goal for myself to get out of my comfort zone, and in doing that, I started my own business, and I did that for a whole year, and it went okay. And I decided that I was just done with it. I didn't want to do it no more. It was just too much, you know, too much energy, and I didn't really feel like it was something that I wanted to do anymore. I mean, I still do it, but it's not the main priority I have. But I tried something new was the main thing.
Yeah.
So then after that, the thing that I wanted to try was like, okay, well, 5 minutes at the open mic, you need to try that. And a goal I set for myself was like, okay, you need to try open mic before the end of 2018. And I didn't do it. But what I did do is I wrote a lot of material.
I love how we have like the same backstory.
Yeah.
But keep going, man. I did the same
I
thing.
wrote and I studied comedy. I studied the different structures of comedy, you know, and I spent that whole year just grinding. And then started the new year, I was like, okay, I got to fucking try it, you know. So in February, I went down over at O'Neill's Pub. And I did my set, and I didn't bomb. I was surprised I didn't bomb because a lot of people bombed that night. And, you know, it was, like, still kind of sloppy, but I got consistent laughter throughout my whole set.
You felt it.
Yeah, I was like, oh, this is cool. I think I might be able to do this. And then I work in, my background is in substance abuse prevention and working in treatment and shit like that.
Wood woo.
Woody whoop. Cheers, right?
Right.
So, like, one thing, I worked with this group, and they had this interesting idea about approaching the substance abuse prevention issues within their community, and it was to provide the community members and students and people in that community with this thing called Laughter is Medicine. And the Laughter is Medicine was a group that was headed by Adriana Chalepa, you know, shout out, right? She's a native comic around, you know, in native country, and she would do stand-up with us and the students. And she would kind of talk about her own. She would let us know about her own toolkit and shit like that. And then we would sit down and we would write material, and then we would all try it out in front of each other. So it was my first writing group session, basically.
Okay, see, that's crazy.
Yeah, so like it was pretty cool. The incentive at the end of 4 weeks was to do a show at the Pueblo Culture Center, and it was a really nice venue. So I stuck in it. I wrote my 5-minute set, and then we performed there. And of all the comics that went on, I fucking crushed it, dude. Like it was still a little sloppy. At that point I was only 3 months in the game, right? So like I did a few open mics to prepare for that, and then I crushed it. I had consistent laughter. I got the most laughs from that night, and I also got invited to do a second set that same night.
Okay.
So it went pretty well. After
that gave you more fuel.
Yeah, and I was like, dude, this was
it.
great. Like I can fucking do this. This was fun. And then I recorded that set, fortunately, and then I sent it into this group, Cloud Top Comedy Festival in Santa Fe. So they were doing their first comedy festival in Santa Fe. I didn't know it was their first, but you had to send in your material. You had to have at least a 5-minute set. So I sent my stuff in, and they emailed me like 2 weeks after. It's like, well, we had to review 144 different applicants, and it was really tough to decide who we were going to let in. And these are like a bunch of different people who signed up for it. So we only ended up choosing 14 comics. Of the 14 comics we chose, you're the only one from New Mexico, so we're glad to have you aboard. So, okay. And after that, I was like, God damn, dude. So I started working. I hit every open mic I could, like 5 times a week, Yeah. So I counted. I did 38 open mics. I did 4 shows. I did a college show. I hosted 3 shows. And then I opened twice for a band and to get ready for that set.
Nice.
So when I went on, I fucking crushed that set.
So you had comfort in it already. You built up that comfort.
Right. So once I got it, I was like, I need to fucking work, dude, because I'm not going to go up there and bomb. You know what I mean? So like, once I got there, that was the best set I had. I got to open for Fortune Feimster. Feimstress, whatever her fucking name is.
Leave her alone. She's funny as fuck.
She's funny. I'm not saying she's not. I butcher her fucking name. That's a resume. You know what I mean?
I've seen one of her stand-ups.
There's Feimster.
Yeah, I've seen one of her stand-ups, but the other one was I actually saw her on a show, Workaholics.
Right, and she was on Mindy Project and a bunch of other shit. So I got to meet her. I got a few pictures with her.
That's sick. And, all right, give me 1 second.
What's up?
My fucking dog is wanting to go outside. Do you hear her?
I hear her.
Yeah, so give me 1 second.
All right,
give a little shout out to everybody. Thank you for your 2 viewers that are here. You guys are awesome. I mean, it is a late podcast,
Who's
but
watching
you guys are
right
awesome.
now?
It's probably David, bro. Let's talk some shit,
David. What's up, dude? What happened tonight, man? I was hoping you'd bring your A game, bro. I can't see your comments if you're commenting. Sorry, dude. But yeah, fucking at this thing. I got your sloppy seconds. You were here first. You know what I mean? But it's all good, man.
David Knight, everybody. We love you.
Yeah, David Knight. He's a cool guy.
Anyways, so back at it. You were getting some stuff done.
Oh, yeah.
In the comedy scene where, like, in this span where you were doing the opening for Fortune.
Yeah.
Where were you at already? Like 5 months, 6 months into it?
So once I opened for Fortune, it was 6 months. I was only doing comedy for 6 months, and I fucking crushed it.
I feel like that's so sick. Like, I mean, I've talked to David Knight on our podcast, and the way he explains stuff, like, there are top comedians that do that one good show, but yet they still are like kind of dragging for that whole, that good spot and stuff. So it's so crazy to think about, like, in the first 8 months, you already did with Fortune.
It's not even 8 months, dude. It was 6 months, man.
I think that's sick. That's just me being a fanboy of comedy and stuff, like not knowing what can come next. Like,
well, I mean, the thing is, you got to put yourself out there, dude. No one's going to fucking do shit for you. I think that's where a lot of people fall. And not just in comedy, but in business, dude. Like, I think that's where the business kind of helped me out. I was like, I got to go out and get my fucking clients and put my fucking shit out there. So I take that same approach with comedy. Like, I'll meet at least 4 or 5 new people at every show and like hit them up, And just
I like how you did that too. You're just like, you try to get their number or at least fucking Facebook them or something.
So like after the Fortune 5 I did 3 shows for Cloud Top Comedy, and it was surreal, dude. I got to hang out with other comics throughout the nation, and got to hang out with them, and just like bullshit with them. It was nice, and so like the bet. So the last show I did, so I did the Meow Wolf, and that was a fucking trippy set to do because just the environment. It was really cool.
Yeah, that place is so
I made a
sick.
few jokes about that. And what I did not know at the Meow Wolf show, Lisa Lampanelli was in the
Oh,
crowd.
yeah, I remember
The fucking
this.
roast master, you know?
Yeah, she's
I
been
had
on a bunch of roasts.
I had no idea she was in the show. So like, if you see my set on Facebook, I put it on Facebook. She's the first person I roast and make fun of because she has a funny laugh. So like, I made fun of her high pitched laugh. It says like it's an octave only dogs can hear. You know what I mean?
And she just fucking.
And she laughed. I had no idea that's who I was fucking roasting, dude. That was amazing. So I got to roast her and just make fun of people during the set, and I fucking killed that Meow Wolf set. And then after that, I got to do a set at the what the fuck was it called? It's that dude, I'm totally fucking blanking. It's that Masonic Lodge. What the hell is it called? It's a spot in Santa Fe. It's the Masonic Library or whatever the fuck it is. I don't know if you know it. It's like an orange building.
Okay.
Yeah. So I went there, and it was just a weird set, like, to look at, because, like, you go in, and it's like a forest scenery, and I had to perform that. I was like, holy shit, this is weird.
What am I gonna say?
Yeah, I'm like, oh, god damn, I got stuck in the weeds, you know? So then I did that one, and the last show I did was at the New Mexico Museum of Art, and basically that show was like the background was like a church, basically. So I was like, this is weird. I feel like I'm performing in church, you know.
Right.
I feel like I should pass around a collection plate or some shit, you know. I did my joke about white people. I know how I love white people. Every family should have one, you know. I was like, no, I can't get away from you guys. And then someone heckled me during that set. And they were like, well, why would you want to get away? And that was such a softball heckle. I fucking hit that shit out of the park. I was like, well, I don't know. You know, look at the wall. Maybe history. You know,
Right.
pick one of those, you know? I was like, thanks for that heckle, by the way, you know?
Yeah, you get totally fired my set.
Yeah, I was like, thanks for that, dude. Yeah. Make it look like I know what I'm fucking doing, dude. Holy shit. So after that, that was the third show. I got to hang out with a bunch of comics, made a lot of connections in Arizona and Colorado. So that was great exposure. At the same time, I got to meet Carlos Medina, and he opened the set at Meow Wolf, and he does his whole like cholo, like he calls it Gabriel de la Plaga. That's what his bit is, or like his shtick is. And I got to open for him, and I got to hang out with him. He was fucking cool as shit.
Yeah,
dude.
so you got some connections and stuff.
Yeah, and like I was just giving him some of my ideas of like what I want to do in comedy. You know, eventually I want to do like a series and call it The Governor's Office. Like I was thinking about what would the native version of The Office be, and I'm like, oh, it'd be The Governor's Office. That's what it would be. And I was spitballing my ideas to him, and he fucking dug it. And I just told him, I was like, hey man, appreciate you, dude. I'm glad I got to do a show with you. You know, that was my goal by the end of the year, is to do a show with Carlos Medina. As a result of that, he was like, well, fuck, dude. He's like, come to my show, and I want to have you at my show in November. So he scheduled me there on the spot for November 21st over at this place in San Fe called the Jean Cocteau.
Okay.
So I did that set, and dude, that was like... so like, Meow Wolf was my best set I'd done. And then up until Carlos Medina's set, I fucking killed that set. That was like an amazing set. You know, and it's just gotten better ever since then. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So now I'm just fucking grinding. I've gotten approached by a few people, like a few agents, you know, just talking about doing business, you know, and I didn't imagine any of this shit would happen.
That's
10 months in, dude.
That's sick, yeah.
10 fucking months in.
So what do you think the next plan is? Like, I mean, I know other comedians and stuff do like a tour and stuff. Have you been thinking about something
Oh,
like
yeah,
that?
dude. So I have all my connections. I have family in Kansas. I have family in Arizona, as well as Colorado. So that's going to be the main area to
Like
tour
there's
in.
there's that kind of like circuit
So I'll call it the Four Corners Comedy Tour or some shit like that.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
That'd be sick to get that kind of thing rolling too, because like that, I mean, don't get me wrong, you build a name in your local spot when you do
Right.
that stuff, but trying to get out of here to learn like different places and stuff,
Right,
that's a little
dude.
bit harder, I think.
Well,
Like,
that's kind of like I'm starting to do a lot better in town, and like I'm getting to be like way more comfortable here, and to be able to crush certain sets, you know. And I'm like cool with that, but I'm not satisfied with that. Now my main thing is like I want to go to a crowd who has no idea who the fuck I am.
Yeah,
and I want to crush for that crowd outside of New Mexico. So that's definitely the next step for me. I've planned out the route, and I've researched how much it's going to cost and shit like that. So the next thing for me is, or my goal by the end of this year, and I'm not sure if I'll make it, is to do a 30-minute set and record it. so I can start sending that to bookers, you know, and to be like, hey man, I've done 30-minute sets. I've opened for a few people, you know, like hit me up with some shit, you know.
Yeah. Do you have anything available?
Exactly.
Shit like that going
So
on.
the other thing I didn't know is like how disorganized certain comics are. Like a lot of comedians who have been in the game for like years don't even have like a 30-minute set that they've recorded. And like I still do a lot of research. I'm like, oh, okay, well I need to do this and I need to work up to get to that level so I can record a 30-minute set of just solid fucking material so I can send that to bookers and be like, hey man, will you fuck with me or what, you know? But a lot of comics who've been in the game, even talking to them tonight, they're like, oh yeah, I've never done that, you know? And part of that, I'm just like, really? Like, you've been in this game for years, dude. I've only been in this 10 months, dude. If I had, like, the experience you've had, then I would fucking just run with that shit.
Do you feel like it's like that's kind of like the method of how things should be done, or is that just like go for it? But do you think that's like a self-centered kind of thing? Like even go ahead and do it. I'm gonna go on a tangent right now, but if you really think about it, like some people have their kind of like what they do in comedy, right?
Right.
Like people that literally are like. There are some people that just go out there to do crowd work. Like they're just that good that they can do it with no material every time. And there are those people that do the method of like, I got to make sure I have my structured 30 minutes so that I know that when the next 30 minutes comes up, I don't want to keep doing rehashed material or stuff like that. Right, dude.
Well, I think like both of them are a skill in itself. Like I research crowd work a lot and just like look at crowd work comics. Like Andrew Schultz is one of my favorite crowd work comedians.
Yeah, he does a lot of good shit.
He did, and we talked about that one set he did, right? That crowd work special that he did was 100% crowd work. Cause like that's a skill in itself. And a lot of comedians, I don't know why it's a polarizing subject. But I mean, everyone has to have a polarizing subject about something, you know. But a lot of comics are like, well, that's not comedy. He's just doing crowd work, you know. Like, there's even these like idea or negative like ideas about doing crowd work.
Because I the thing that I feel that's kind of weird, what he does is like he always he always does crowd work, but yet in a race kind of way. He always it's always asking him like, oh, so what are you? And you know, it's not more of like a appearance or what they're laughing or how they're doing certain stuff. It's always to a race card. And I feel like that's like a crippling effect, but yet a strong point as well.
Well, I mean, if you can do it, and like I've seen the way he does it, and it's in a good way, because like he can fuck with people and like fuck with them within their culture, and that's like fucking legit. It's not just making like, oh, you're Mexican and we'll make fun a taco joke. Like, no, it's like he does like actually like legit shit. You know what I mean? It's like funny to them.
Yeah.
So therefore, it's like funny to everyone else.
They get the humor and stuff like that. Right.
It's not just like making fun of the fact that they're fucking Mexican, you know? So like, I like his shit. And another guy I really enjoy, I like a lot of comics from England. One of my favorite person who deals with hecklers is Frankie Boyle. I don't know if you've heard of him. But
I haven't.
Dude,
he does good.
He's a Scottish comic and he destroys people, dude. Like one of my favorite heckles he does is a guy. He was talking to this guy. He's like, "Hey Frodo, how you doing?" And the guy was like, "Why do you call me Frodo?" I was like, "Why do you call me Frodo?" It's like, "Because you look like you've had your ring destroyed." You know what I mean? I'm like, dude, that's like legit. Like to come up with that like instantaneously, I fucking love that shit. And it wasn't like it might have been an effort within his mind, but it just came off so flawlessly.
Yeah, and it's a skill of building up. Like you're talking, but yet still multitasking at the same time. Like, oh man, this guy said something, but I got to finish this joke. Okay, bam.
Right. I like his shit because he does material and then he'll do crowd work, and his crowd work is fucking brilliant, dude. And that's what I love about like a lot of English comics. They don't have, you know, in America we have all this PC bullshit, you know.
Okay, so like that's. Okay, go ahead. Finish with your PC and comic bullshit.
So like in England, like I love how harsh they can be about shit, you know. And the way they deal with do crowd work, it's fucking harsh, but the audience loves it. There's no issues, and even like touching really, really touchy subjects. But they deal with it and everyone fucking laughs because they know it's a fucking joke. And it's like shit here that people would be like, oh, I'm going to protest. I'm going to hold a sign outside your fucking thing, you know?
That's true. I get what you're saying because I feel like comedy now. Well, I love how I talked to Troy about this too. And I actually really want to have him on the podcast as well.
Yeah.
But he was talking about how America kind of is the standard for comedy. Silence with that comment.
It's okay. I can disagree, but I mean, I understand where he's coming from with that because we have so many fucking awesome comics here.
And the way we started, yeah, like we
Right.
kind of have like the structure of how things should be done, and we have other comics following from
If you
different
look
places.
at the history, like it did, like one of the main things is it did start. I don't want to be ignorant about fucking European shit, but I researched like and watched history about comedy, and it did start here in America.
Okay.
During the rock and roll era, like you'd have these people coming up on stage, and then they would start with their shtick. It was a lot of slapstick, and then they had a few people who started doing actual comedy at the time in the 1950s, I believe. Once the silent films or those talkies they started coming out, they had comedians, or they actually started doing comedy then. And that's what I love about comedy is like it's such a new thing still, like even though it's been going for like 60 years, it's still relatively new to art, you know what I mean?
Yeah, there's still like I love how there's different aspects that can be brought into it too. Like
dude.
Cat's set last.
Yeah.
The whole music thing. I love that. That's so cool. That's a genius. It always just reminds me of like Tenacious D or something.
Right,
the way they
dude.
brought that kind of feel. And then you go to somebody else like. I still have yet to see an Albuquerque prop comic that's actually really good, but there is that.
No
sense,
diss to any of the local prop comics, goddamn,
right?
dude.
If you guys are out there,
It's
step
okay.
up your game, dude.
The guy with a chip on his shoulder. I like that guy. He's freaking cool.
He does have good material when it's not prop comedy, but the prop
yeah.
comedy is like cheesy humor. I'm laughing at the chip on your shoulder because you have a chip on your
You
shoulder.
have a fucking chip on your shoulder, bro.
Yeah, can you come up with something a little bit more like?
Dude, how unfair was it that he went up against Josh Fournier? Did you see that shit during the roast battles?
Did he?
William Willer went up against Josh Fournier. And it was just unfair.
Well, okay. Do you remember a little bit of it?
Yeah. One of the main things that Josh said. What did William say? It had something to do with like he was like talking about how creepy he is in terms of like women and shit like that. And Josh came back with a fucking amazing comeback. He's like, yeah, well, there's where all the missing murdered indigenous women went,
Right.
And that he floored the crowd with that.
Everyone
shit, dude.
just went crazy.
Oh yeah, that was brilliant, dude. And to be honest, that was an unfair kind of match, you know, because Josh is fucking.
He's
sick,
seasoned.
dude.
Yeah, he's seasoned.
fucking sick, dude. Like you can't. Yeah.
It's yeah. That's what's crazy too. How that works. Like, how do you get on one of those? Like, they're just like, oh, we're gonna put you against this guy. Do you want to
No,
go on
dude.
that
Like
show?
if you're part of the group text, you just have to be like, I want to battle.
Oh, really?
That's it. Like I got text and he was like, you want to be part of it? I'm like, not right now, dude.
Give me a second. No,
Give me
cool.
a few. I'm okay. I don't want to battle anyone right now.
That's cool though.
Unless it's David Knight, then that'd be pretty sick, right?
Dude, shots fired. I don't have a gun sound, but that's shots fired. That's the cool thing about comedy too, is like it's more of like a subjective kind of like making fun of things.
Right.
Like literally, you got to make fun of either yourself or the situation or what you see, because in that sense, everybody knows, like, you know, those awkward fucking situations where nobody wants to laugh or nobody wants to do anything, but like,
Yeah.
you can find the humor in them. Like, I hate to say this, but you know, Alex G, he sucks. Like, you
Who's
know,
Alex G?
See, you don't know who he is,
Never
right?
know who that is,
He
dude.
goes to some open mics and stuff, and he's just so bad. Like, it's
Here?
yeah.
Who's Alex G?
He's been going so bad. He looks like this homeless guy, and people were making fun of him. Like he might.
Is he the guy who's a shooter?
Yeah.
Oh my
That
god,
guy.
dude, he scares me.
He's so bad that it's good though. That's how I feel
what's
of his
bad
humor.
about him is like he doesn't realize what's working in his set. You know what I mean? So like he had a few cool jokes. The few times I've seen him perform, he had maybe one out of his whole shit set. He had one joke that was good. I'm like, dude, hold on to that. I was like, look at what made that funny.
Yeah.
And then try and replicate that with your rest of your set, and just doesn't take any of that advice, dude. Like, I think Bear was telling me about. I was like, why do you guys call him the shooter? And he told me that whole story. He's like, dude, that fucking the speakeasy.
Yeah, he said it. He was just like, "Oh, don't you feel like you want to kill somebody?" We're just like, "What the fuck?"
That's
Everybody after that
scary.
night just roasted his ass. Everybody
Really?
just had a little roast session with him.
Yeah.
So now he's that guy though in the comedy scene, and
Yeah.
that kind of like, I don't like that kind of sucks, but yet that should bring you to like better yourself and do better at comedy. But what is he doing? Like, what in a sense is he doing? Like,
He's like the guy. He's like the Joker, basically. Have you seen that movie?
yeah,
So he's like one edge to sanity, dude. To insanity, dude. It's like he's so close to that line. I kind of feel bad for the dude, but I don't feel that bad because it's comedy. It's like if you're not funny,
That's just not for you.
then it's just like that's what it is. Either work your ass off to get funny, or like reassess what you're doing and then make it funny, or not. If not, then just fuck off.
That's crazy to think about too. Is like you can work to be funny.
Yeah, that's what it is, dude. A lot of people don't put in the fucking work to do it.
Because like when I thought about it, when I first did comedy, I was like, it's going to take a long time. But now I see it as like, dude, it's just practice. Like if I really dedicated as much as I played guitar, then I know I'm going to get good faster because I dedicate. I love that's like your sense too. You like, I'm going to do the whole 5 days a week, try to get there all the time now. So that's what I've been.
I don't know why my eyes bugging me, dude. Sorry.
It's got astigmatism, guys.
Astigmatism, holy shit.
I wish I had some eye drops or something. I don't have that kind of shit in here. Nobody has eye problems in here. It's the dust.
It's like what I've been up for. Like I was up since 6 this morning, dude. So
yeah, I know, dude. And you're still gonna have to go up a little bit more after this, right?
Nah, I don't give a fuck, dude. I'm fine, dude.
Yeah.
Well, the drive home, I'll stop at fucking McDonald's, pick up a fucking sausage egg McMuffin or some shit,
Just get some fuel going.
That's my shit, dude. After like the sets, like what usually gets me through is like, hey man, you can have fucking McDonald's after this. Get an egg McMuffin.
That's
fucking go home and have hash browns. And I usually it's a bad habit, but when I go home, I'll play like PUBG for like an hour or two. So I'll be up till like 3 o'clock, even after I do a set, and that's like the best fucking thing in the world. But as I get older, I have to play more mild games because my heart rate will definitely be up there because I get so fucking pissed at PUBG, dude. It's fucking idiot people, dude.
Especially, what do they call them nowadays? They call them tryhards.
Yeah, dude.
Those are those tryhards out there.
Oh, those fucking fuckers online, dude, who talk shit to you because you can't fucking see them. Oh, god damn, dude. I mute all those fucking idiots, dude.
And it's so bad, too, because after a while, you're just like, fuck, I don't even know why I play. Because I play a lot of Fortnite, and it's kind of the same premise where I'm just like, fuck, dude, I lost and I was barely like number 86. Like, what the fuck? Don't jump into a hot spot, I guess.
It's so funny. This is the shit we're going to be talking about when we're older elders, dude, right?
Right.
You remember fucking PUBG?
That game was sick.
That game was amazing. Changed my whole life.
I feel like in our sense, though, we won't age or decrepit faster than the other people. Like, I feel like...
Oh, yeah. You really?
Yeah, like, we have our youth and stuff. Our generation has a little bit more youthfulness, I feel. I feel like we'll be able to still, like, outlive our grandparents a little bit more and still be more youthful at it. Like,
I don't know, man. With all this fucking technology, no one's measuring the fucking radio waves. Remember that shit when fucking cell phones cause brain cancer and shit like that?
They still say that? They're like, 5G is going to kill you.
And now we have fucking, like, I have 2 fucking cell phones here. God damn,
right,
dude.
There's at least a wireless signal going in
Jesus
from here
Christ,
to the
dude.
room.
It's like, yeah, it'll hit us when we're fucking 50 years old, dude. We'll be like, oh, I shouldn't have been on the fucking iPhone. I fucking hate iPhones, by the way.
You're not an iPhone fan?
I was, but just the battery life fucking sucks. And
you have like 2 phones, too.
This is my work phone, dude.
What the fuck?
I have to pay for this internet because it's my personal, but I don't have to pay for this one.
Okay, then that's just for like emergency calls.
Allegedly. It's not real.
I don't got anything to do with that.
I don't got shit with that, dude.
But yeah, like you said, fucking technology, I guess. I'm honestly a really big firm believer that technology is just making us better. We're getting more comfortable.
I think so too.
We're getting smarter.
I hear that.
We're able to do so much stuff. Imagine being able to run on a high sophisticated treadmill at home instead of having to go run around the track.
Right, dude.
I mean, that's just
why
future.
the fuck are you gonna run outside anyway, dude?
It's the future going on, dude.
Just run on a goddamn treadmill in your fucking house watching Netflix or some shit, right?
That gives a new definition of Netflix and chill.
Right.
Like, let's Netflix and chill, guys. Like,
that's Netflix and treadmill.
Yeah, there you go, Netflix and treadmill.
Fucking.
I think that's what like our younger generation, us, kind of like to do too. Is like we're really big multitaskers. Like I talk to a lot of people that are just like fucking. I don't know how I could fucking. You just end up watching TV and yet still play guitar and then talk on your phone, like, answer all these messages and stuff. Like,
I think it's like kind of like
we learn how to do that. We're badass,
right? It's kind of like debilitating in certain areas because like I get after people because it's like, dude, put your fucking phone down. This isn't the time to fucking Snapchat. We're trying to hang out and just be with family, But I think like eventually it's gonna be like something that we rely on. Like I don't fucking buy newspapers for shit. I just read all my news on the fucking phone.
Yeah,
know
you
what I
can
mean?
find almost anything.
You don't need shit anymore, dude. It's kind of bad, but it's good in a way. It's like, all I need is an internet connection and I'm fine, you know?
Would it freak you out if it was just like transmitted in your brain? Like you saw it right away?
Oh,
Like,
yeah, that would be a little overbearing because I'll be all trying to sleep. It's like, oh, by the way, we just got the newspaper. It's like, fuck off, dude,
that's actually might happen though.
No, I think human beings are going to be able to filter that shit out.
Because you've seen it's called what is it called? Thank you for the audio. Jelly jiggle. Fucking. What the fuck is it called? God damn it, I lost my train of thought now. Elon Musk is creating a new thing called Neuralinks. Have you heard of this?
No, I have not.
So it's like a little microchip that goes in the back of your head, but yet it has 1,000 hair-like follicles that goes into your brain. And they send an electric charge that activates different parts of your brain.
Does he have one in his head?
No, there's already like not a prototype, but the human trials start in 2020.
Well, that's great.
Dude,
Elon Musk, fucking try it first, dude, you asshole.
Are you ready for this? I mean, he's already going to develop an app for it.
So here's my issue with it. It's not going to work on the fucking res because we won't have connection there, dude.
You're like,
fucking like, what the hell's going on with him? Oh, he got one of those chips in his head,
I still can't breathe.
I'm trying to fucking corn dance, and this thing's throwing it off, it's going to create more. It's just like the internet, it was such a revolutionary idea, and the fucking whatever it came out in the 80s, 90s, whatever the fuck. But now it's like a kind of a bullshit piece of thing, like how people like create this like false image of who they really are on Facebook, and it's going to be the same way. Like, there's good intentions behind it, but human beings are such like as a species. As such, are going to like distort it in certain ways, and eventually it's going to be something that's really harmful to human beings.
A lot of people aren't going to want to do it.
A lot of people are going to be like, no, I'm not going to do it. You're always going to have the old school train of thought. No matter how old we fucking get, we're going to have that old school train of thought. It's like, well, we don't want that microchip in our head. That's the Satan. That's the devil's work,
That's what's crazy to think about, too, is like the religious aspect behind that, too.
Oh, dude.
Like you can see the futuristic, the ideas and all like the way we are advancing, but yet all of a sudden there's still the backstory of like, it's the devil or some kind of weird thing like that.
And you're always going to have people with that same sort of ideology and that sort of like framework, I guess. You know what I mean?
I don't know. That just depends on how much you deal with it, though, right?
No, it's always going to be there, dude. It's like it's going to decrease, I guess, and new things are going to come up, eventually. But like I was really religious for a long time. Traditionally, we were like kind of taught to be religious within that framework. But
with the Catholic and Christian religion?
No, with the native religion.
Okay, so that's the thing I always get confused. Like a native person shouldn't say that they're religious in that sense because you're more spiritual.
Yeah, that's how we get away with it, but it's religion.
It's a sense of religion.
And like the only thing like in the Pueblo world, Navajos can't say this shit, but for us, like everyone bitches about how they had to they were put on reservations, but the significant thing about Pueblos and the major differential sort of thing with us is that we fucking fought to stay where we're at. Like my homeland is our original homeland. Ever since the 1600s,
Yeah, they didn't, like you said, I didn't have to relocate.
We didn't relocate. We didn't move anywhere. We moved like maybe 1,000 feet from where our mesas down to the Pueblo where we're at now.
Yeah.
But like for me, when people, and this is a term that everyone throws around a lot, it's called historical trauma, and it's different for natives outside New Mexico. It might be for Navajos and Apaches and Utes within New Mexico, but in the Pueblos, it's a different sort of system because we're in our original homeland, and we fought to be here. As such, and I got into an argument with Josh Fournier about this shit, but yeah, we never had to move. Like that's the thing that people don't really understand about Pueblos is like we're in our homeland, we never moved.
So if you're a Pueblo Indian, you are still in your native land. Oh
yeah, dude. And like that's kind of like the thing I didn't realize about the Navajo culture is like within your family, if like let's say you have one elder who knows all the traditions, if that elder dies, then your whole traditions die with it. If you didn't learn anything from them. In the Pueblo, it's complete opposite. We carry that all together, and if in my family I don't have my dad. My dad passed away a long time ago, as did my grandpa. So like it kind of came to me and my uncles to carry that shit.
That's crazy too,
And
that you have to learn those traditions
oh,
somewhere
dude.
else.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's not even somewhere else. It's like in the Pueblo, it's structured in a way that, like, if you don't have anyone, like, the Pueblo will be like, okay, well, we'll give you this guy here, and he's your new family now, and he'll be the one you come to ask questions to. So, like, our system is really fucking defined very well. But what gets in the way of it is the Catholicism, and that's what I wrestle with now personally, because I don't have an issue against Catholicism. I have an issue with like believing and being forced to be usurped. I guess that's the word, right? To be forced into something that I haven't really been raised within, and so like that's created a lot of issues for me and my family. Like I'm traditional, I speak my language, but we're not technically traditional because we don't follow the Catholic sort of system, and that's not, and it just depends who you are. A lot of people are like, well, you should just believe and just say you're married Catholic, and that's like,
So you can get away with shit.
yeah, exactly. And I'm like, well, you guys say it, but you don't believe in it. So like, what's the big difference between me and my family who say we're not Catholic, but your family who says you are Catholic, but you don't believe in what it actually stands for,
And that's what's crazy too, because I've even heard that there were more Native Americans that actually were better at reciting and learning the Christian religion or Catholic, whatever religion, than actual religious people. Like,
oh, dude,
like they even played the part better than them.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing, people?
Well, I mean, that just goes back to religion. I always say, like, if, like, Jesus were to come back, we wouldn't know because he couldn't get through fucking customs. You know what I mean? You guys wouldn't know because you're looking at your fucking cell phones. I got into this argument with this really Christian lady, and she was like, oh, Jesus is white. I was like, Jesus wasn't white. What the fuck are you talking about? She was like, no, he was a Jew. He was a Jew in Galilee. I was like, you know where fucking Galilee is? It's in the Middle East, dude.
Have you seen a Jew?
Jesus was fucking Middle Eastern, dude.
Not all Jews are what you think.
Yeah, no, dude. He wasn't wearing a fucking yarmulke, eating pastrami. You know what I mean?
Right.
He was a fucking Jew back in the day, dude.
Mm-hmm. Those slaver working Jews.
Yeah, man. It's like, it's so funny, like, what people choose to, like, be offended by. And that's kind of where religion kind of hits me. And I'm like, I don't want that, because it's like, you have this like sort of system that's created within that sort of framework that allows people to treat people certain ways, as opposed to be really looking at what the religious text and all that stuff says.
Because they have this structure already that you're like, oh, this is you being a bad person if you don't do this, or you can't do this. But like, if you think about the scenario in its sense, like, what is a bad person? If a person steals because all their family is starving, is that a bad person? Like, that distorts the structure of those Christian values.
And that's like, dude, I don't see anywhere in the Bible where it says to wear a fucking tie, cut your hair and comb it to the right.
Give everybody $1, pass a basket around.
I don't see any of that shit, I don't know, like, that's what kind of, like, got me away. Like, I was saying I was really religious for a while. Like, me and my wife she was raised in a Baptist church, and I went with it. I was like, okay, this is interesting. And what they taught me, I learned about the religion, but when I learned about it, I saw the way the people implemented it, and that kind of pushed me away from it. I was like, no, I'm open to, like, a lot of shit, dude. But what fucks it up, and we've said this in coaching for a long time, is, like, people fuck things up, That's just how we are. We're impure. So we can never, like, pretend to be something that we're not.
And that's all of humans. Like, even in the story of Adam and Eve right away, like, all right, let me just go fuck around in the apple tree. So, like, literally, it's just human nature.
Go make an apple pie with fucking Satan, right?
I'm pretty sure, like, there's even, like, stories of your, like, culture where they have those, like, betrayal things and stuff that happen where we're just like, oh, man, why did that happen? That's why where are you, fuckers? You fucked it all up.
Right.
So that's through all of history. Right. And that's the beauty of, like, learning about that, because not only are like we're correcting it, but yet we understand it in a way where it's not a racist statement anymore, or it's not like a really hateful kind of thing anymore. I don't know. I feel like racism isn't a thing anymore unless people make it a thing.
Oh yeah, dude.
Because like we joke about racism all the time, but we're not racist.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, if you think we understand like the context with that it's within, we're like pointing out these like ridicules that we see every day, and it's fun to make fun of because it's fucking funny, but there's the other type of people who take it and they'll run with that shit. Like I went to a show where I saw Bill Burr. He's like my favorite comedian.
He's a beast.
Hashtag Bill Burr is my spirit animal, right?
There you
I
go,
love Bill Burr.
The ginger.
Yeah, I fucking love Bill Burr so much. But after the show, I heard these people talking, and like they actually took all his shit as facts. They're like, "Oh, we can treat people this way." It's like, no, what the fuck is wrong with you guys? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's a comedian. You know, like don't try to frame a fucking ideological framework around this guy. You know,
Because there's no point, right?
there's no. It's the point is he's trying to be funny. He is fucking funny.
I like, yeah, and it's more truthfulness that we should all be doing that instead of just like, oh, this taboo, nobody should be saying this. He's doing
Right,
it. Why
dude.
not?
No, and like a lot of, and it's just like a bunch of closed-minded fucking idiots taking things completely out of context, you know?
Yeah.
And like they're trying to run with it to justify their own fucked up behavior, and that's what fucks it up for a lot of people, dude. So within that regard, certain PC culture is okay to make sure that these fuckers don't ever get to the point that they need, you know, at the hierarchy, you know. But at the same instance, people just fuck things up. So like this PC culture fucks things up like so much, dude. It's
And
like
that goes back to the straight what we're talking about politics. It's just
Right.
a centered, like it's a centered thing. You have to find the middle ground of it.
right, and that's what people like lose. Like even within our like government, like the Republicans and Democrats are supposed to fucking argue, and like because of the arguments, they're supposed to find those small things that will actually lead to justice. And it's actually a really good system. It's not implemented very well today, you know, because people are so polarized and they're like, you have all these, I call it martyr politics is what it is nowadays. You know,
Okay,
it's like,
yeah.
I'm so into this and I'm so right. I'm going to fucking push as far as I can. And then
And I
it's
see
like,
it as like a leader that you have to follow in that sense. Like
Right, dude.
even in a smaller sense, like maybe in like let's just use a comedy community. Like you see that one guy doing his thing and you're just like, well, let's all push towards that because we all find that camaraderie or something like that.
right, dude. It's like, it's interesting, like what people choose to focus on as opposed to what the real point is behind it that's driving that. And yeah, man, like I go back to it, it's just fucking comedy, dude. You know, that's what it is for me, you know, like I love comedy so much. I didn't realize I could do it, you know. Back to my origin story, right?
That's true though. That's
I
the same of
fucking-
all of us. I didn't think I can do this shit. And then once you start making those people laugh, you're like, holy fuck, I can do this.
That's why I love like what Jerry Seinfeld said, like comedy is the closest thing to justice. You know what I mean? Because like if you go on stage and you think you're fucking funny and you bomb, then the audience will let you know.
And you really got to reevaluate yourself.
You gotta reevaluate yourself. It's so fucking humbling. You know, when I first fucking bombed, dude, like I hated my life. I'm like, I can't do this. And like, I think it was Royal, I believe. It was like I was bombing my first set over at the Inside Out place, and I was bombing hard. Everyone was bombing hard that night. There was like, you know, no one was there except for some comics, you know, and it was a really hard set. And I just acknowledged the fact that I was fucking bombing. And he was like, hey, man, we all got to go through it, you know, just fucking finish your set and get through it. And then after the third time I bombed, I think it was Josh Fournier I was talking to. He's like, yeah, like it wasn't a deal to him. He's like, yeah, you know, who gives a fuck, you know, that was his attitude. And it was like, yeah, we just got to put our sets in, you know. It's like, don't worry about it.
That's what's so sick. Yeah, I've learned that over the few months now. It's just like, dude, who cares if you fucked up the first night? Because you know the new open mic place that's out there, the Raw and Sauce one?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, this last Tuesday, like I fucking bombed. Like it was bad. Like no applause, no nothing.
Yeah.
The area is weird. It's just a weird environment.
Right.
The next day, the Red Door, you saw what happened. We were all there. We fucking did great, dude.
Me and you fucking killed, dude.
It just was a great experience. It felt so amazing with that things being done. I was just
Right.
like, dude, how can I not do this all the time?
I have to give a shout out to David Knight because it was because of him heckling me. I had such a great set, dude.
I love what he says too, because like I respect it. I really respect it. It's like I don't care if he did talk shit or not, because
Right.
he said my name.
Right.
He said my name, and that means that we're both publicity is getting out there.
That's fine, dude.
And I like that. I like that because that makes sense, dude. Because I've even seen it with like bad people, or like even with fucking bands that like have bad like music videos or something, but yet still the music video was so bad that hundreds of thousands of people are looking at it, and yet they go into their sets and they're like, "Oh shit, not all their shit is bad."
Right.
That's what's so crazy to think about, is like you can
Yeah.
find that like little leeway, again, the middle ground. And like maybe fucking you did roast the fuck out of David, but now people know that both of you have that shit. Like you're like,
Yeah, well, it was because of him I was able to fucking roast him. If he didn't say shit, then I wouldn't have had as much of a good
momentum,
set as I did,
stuff to say, all that shit didn't build up with it. With that.
So like it is partly because of him, you know.
It's crazy to think about.
Shout out David Knight,
You're
fucker.
a beast, fucker. I know you're watching. Don't lie. I know you're watching, fucker.
This guy.
We got 4 concurrent viewers right now. Thank you guys for watching. You guys are awesome. Christmas Topper said, "Do you eat holoderin balls?" I don't know what the fuck that means, but thank you.
Define what holoderin balls is, and I'll let you know if we do eat it. If not, it might be on the menu if it's good enough, you know.
You know what's another thing I want?
If it's fucking kosher, you know.
Can I?
I gotta get a rabbi to approve that shit first, you know.
It's not coming in with that last name Topper. Or Topper. It's probably Topper. I don't give a fuck. Anyways. Let's talk more. Okay, this is one thing that freaks me out about the native cultures. How you guys talk about skinwalkers.
Oh yeah, well that's more Navajo shit, dude. So like,
but a skinwalker is in a definition a shapeshifter that is a reptile, right? No, there's no reptile in it at all. Where did I get reptile?
You got reptile from the people who believe in the Illuminati and the
reptilians.
People.
Yeah.
So like one comic does jokes about reptilian people, and like I've wanted to follow him to just be like, okay, just FYI, reptilians are skinwalkers for white people. That's what that is.
Ah, that's genius. Yeah. See, because that's why I always felt like you guys were relating to the same thing. You guys were like, oh, if every time you guys talk about skinwalkers, the first thing I fucking think about is a reptilian.
Oh yeah.
So okay, that's good for you to reference.
But like so like a lot of these people who discuss reptilians and shit. Me personally, I don't really believe because there's been no evidence to point to that. They have all
the Anunnaki, the stories.
There's like always like, oh, did you see that Obama security guard when he blinked and his eyes turned? I'm like,
or Mark Zuckerberg, he didn't blink at all and he only drank 2 sips of water. Who does that? Reptilians do.
All these fuckers who talk from the inside who've never been on the inside. You know what I mean? They have this perspective. All of a sudden, you know, it's fucking funny, dude. Like. I feel bad because I delved in conspiracy theory for like a year.
Same.
And then when I was done, I was like, wait. So like, if this was really and what it boils down to is people are fucking stupid, and that's what the place conspiracy theories take. They want to believe that there's this ultimate evil that's inspiring and conspiring within this like political framework. That's influencing people to react certain ways.
Right,
but the bottom line of it is people are just fucking stupid. Like, you hear about the fucker in Washington, D.C. who, like, didn't approve of that guy's marriage because he was from New Mexico. He didn't know it was part of the U.S.
Yeah.
I was like, really? You didn't know that was part of the 50 United States, you fucking idiot?
Right, one of the, like, things that you would assume he would know.
Oh yeah, dude. Even it's crazy, like what people believe if you just tell them. You know, like the whole Alex Jones thing. You know Alex Jones, right?
Dude, I used to love that guy. I love that.
I mean, he's entertaining to watch.
And the other thing too is like not everything he says is false because there are some things in his spick that have become like, you know, he said it and they're true.
Right.
So like again, that's the thing though is like he has this outlandish big head that like gets so much things out. You have to kind of filter yourself through if you're gonna find real information out of there.
Right. And I like what the underlying message is like ask questions and don't be okay with what they're telling you. Like I believe that. Like I'll ask questions to like the fucking day I die, you know?
Yeah.
But the way they do it, like the whole like you hear about that fucking Pizzagate bullshit.
Yeah.
It's like how that shit was just not true. You know, it was like they investigated the pizza place. It was like it's 100% false.
There's no
evidence. Underground place where they have like sacrificed little kids or some shit. But what's crazy is he actually got people to act out on that, and they attacked that place and they shot it up based on what he said. And now he's catching fire, and everyone likes to believe that. Oh, they're just like limiting free speech. You know, they're trying to target him. It's like no, what you're doing is actually causing people to do like harm to other people based on the shit you're saying. And then when you look at it in court, like he threw it out. He's like, oh, I'm just like a, you know, I'm just like a commentator. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
just saying what I
Even in
can
the
say.
defense within the judiciary, when he had to defend it, that's basically what the lawyers said.
Okay.
You know, it's like they know that he's like it's like it's not real. It's basically what the lawyers came to, and that's on fucking record in the fucking U.S. You know,
Yeah, there's
Judiciary Committee, dude. It's on record saying that, you know, what he says is fucking false. He's just an entertainer. That's it. What he says isn't fucking fact. So when that goes down, and when you get to the grind of fucking, or when you get to the bottom of what he's talking about, then I'm like, okay, well, everything you're saying is not really true. You know, you're like an entertainer at the bottom of it, and plus, like, he kind of like fucked it up because like he and Christians will never admit this, but they market to their fucking people.
Oh, dude.
They
Oh,
fucking
dude.
market like crazy, and you can look at it in
Get
Alex
the new,
Jones.
yeah, everything, dude, everything. The littlest trinket, like why?
Right, it's like Jesus Christ, like, you know, he ate the salt. I'm like, what the fuck are you guys talking about?
Even when I was a kid, like unfortunately, like I come up from a religious family and stuff. Like
Right.
we would do those things where we'd go to like the Santuario and stuff, like in
Oh, yeah.
Chimayo.
Yeah.
Like, dude, why are you selling water and dirt? Like, what the fuck? That should be for everybody to have.
Right.
Like,
I was like, if it's real, why the fuck are you selling that shit?
yeah,
dude?
that makes no sense of like the real aspect of holiness because
Right.
I love to think of religion as a way of kind of like it tells you these stories or allegories of
Right.
like different of real life kind of aspects, but yet you shouldn't take them as like, oh yeah, I have to make sure that my sacraments of church are always on this day, or like
Right.
there's just these little morals of like being a good person, like making sure to share with your friends, like all
Right.
these little things that should be really like taught and praised
Right.
in a sense where it's just like fucking, you know, help us get the most money we can so we can have a better church to praise God.
Right.
But where does that praise come from? Because I know, like, in your sense, there's religious ceremonies where you guys just sit around and tell stories. That's it.
Right,
You're
right.
not trying to get the whole sense of, like, let's sit in a luxurious chair so you can hear our story.
Right, dude. That's what the fucking religious people do all the fucking time, dude. That's crazy. Like, the most religious people I've ever, like, known are fucking dirt poor, and they've accepted exactly where they're at. They
Or the
don't-
opposite. They're, like, super rich. There's no middle ground.
No.
They're, like, the super rich elite.
Like, the real religious people are fucking dirt poor and have no, like, need, or they don't... You can sense it within them. You know what I mean? Like, that energy that they give off. It's like there's no need, there's no want of things to get, you know, all that other shit. You know, I want extra money. It's like, no. They've accepted where they're at. And because of that, they're able to tap into this additional, like, fucking spectrum that other people are fucking missing by going to these religious people.
Yeah, they're just not going with it either.
No, yeah. That's the key, man. It's like, it's crazy. Like, in Maslow, you know what Maslow's hierarchy is?
Tell me more.
So Maslow's hierarchy, it's like it's a theory based on individuals. So what the hierarchy says is like, this guy named Maslow came up with this theory that like no person can like go up in the spectrum of this hierarchy if they're not meeting certain needs. So the basic one is like food and basic things that you need to survive. So if you are worrying about things to survive, you're never gonna like reach your full potential as an individual, basically, right? So like once you have like your food issues met, then you can move up to the next one, which is acceptance, you know, and love and shit like that. And like once you have that, you can move up to the spectrum, and then they call it being a self-actualized individual. Self-actualized individuals are like, they use examples of like Gandhi and people of that hierarchical nature, you know, that they were able to go through that hierarchy and eliminate all those additional things that people need.
And kind of reach an enlightenment
And they can reach
point.
enlightenment. Exactly. That's exactly it, dude. And that's a theory I like fuck with the most because it made the most sense to me. I was like, dude, that's fucking legit shit, dude. You know?
And if you really think about it too, it's just mostly, I mean, I love just bringing it down to the principle. It's just putting in work. It's
Yeah.
just putting in work.
Right.
Because like all of those steps and little layers that come in between it start to trickle
Right.
down and become easier. And it just becomes a like this beautiful like fucking staircase thing where you're just like on the top and you don't have to worry about it.
Right.
So I like that example of it, like the way that it is.
Yeah, dude, I delved in that shit for like a year, and it helped me understand why certain people fall into fucking issues. I don't know, like, I mentioned I work in substance abuse, like prevention and shit like that. Like people abuse alcohol or whatever the fuck it is. They abuse some sort of system because they can't attain that, they're not getting their fucking food, man. They have no love. They have no connection. So they'll never be able to reach that full stage of self-actualization, which is enlightenment. So they're not reaching their full potential as an individual, and they're not going to until they meet all those other areas.
And that's like self-reflection at that point. It's all just like finding out what you did yourself. Like,
Right.
I love when people aspect it like, well, how bad did I do? What did I do? How bad did I do? Like,
Right.
you have the aspect to know, like you kind of can internally feel it. You kind of can know that maybe what you're doing is wrong or maybe what you're doing isn't right. And you build on it. And that's the same thing with comedy. Like you go up there and you do a joke and it doesn't work and you're just like, fuck, I got to go back and just kind of work on it a little bit. I've heard all these comedians say like, I've worked on a joke for like 2 years and then it finally got perfected to what I need to. And I was like, what? Really?
Yeah,
There's that
dude.
much work into like a really structured joke? Like that blows me away in the sense that like I get it though. I get it. If you really want to make a great song, you're going to take time in making it.
Right.
So same thing with the joke. It's some of them come out right away because they're really good inspirational things, but others do take some time to really build up and stuff. And I love that aspect of comedy. Like it's just putting in work.
That's all it is, man. You can't fucking be funny overnight, dude. Like, what bugs me the most is when people come up to me and like, oh, yeah, I could do stand up. Like, my cousin was saying that shit tonight. Like, well, can you get first place, dude?
Right? Or
Get
can
up there
you
and do it.
get like at least 2 consistent laughs in a row? Like maybe you can get one. Maybe you can. Your whole set, you can get 1 laugh, but can you get the 2?
Right.
Can you get maybe a second one? Like that in itself blows me away too.
What bugs the fuck out of me is like when people who don't do comedy come up and try and lecture you about what's funny,
They're like, you
Just
should have
try
done this.
way,
Yeah.
Try this punchline. There's one punchline my relative actually gave me that was pretty funny. But I never used it because I don't want to give him that fucking pride.
Oh man, yeah.
It's like, oh, I helped him in his comedy career. I was like, no, you did not.
You can't say that about me.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, fucking give me 1 second. I'm gonna let my fucking dog in because she's barking. I don't know if you've heard that shit for
I
like
hear
the past
it.
30 minutes.
Once you get back, I'm gonna take a fucking pee break.
Give a shout out to where they can find you and stuff. We got 3 viewers on
All
here.
right, cool, man. Sounds good.
Go for it. I'll be right back.
So you can find me on Facebook at Korey Herrera, KoreyHerrera on Facebook. You can find me on Instagram, CHComedian. And I can spell that for you if you want. CH and then the word comedian. That's where I'm at on fucking Instagram. Yeah, dude. I have like let's see, I performed two shows tonight. I have 6 more throughout this month. So yeah, man, hit me up on Facebook, dude.
That's the shit. Let everybody, you know where to find them. You got to do more. Do you use a Twitter?
I don't do Twitter. I have a Twitter. I just don't use it.
Twitter is more popping than the other 2. I hope you know that.
No way.
Yeah, dude. You'd be surprised.
I don't know. I started a Twitter account and it kind of bugged me. It's like, really? People want to just comment on nothing? It's fine with me, dude.
That's kind of, unfortunately, Instagram and Facebook are family more oriented. If you really want to reach a wide audience, you need to start using Twitter a little bit more.
Yeah, I hear you, dude.
But that's good. I like that shit. Fucking, oh man, I love the topics we've been talking about. Fucking conspiracy theories.
Jesus Christ, we went all over the fucking place. Religion, native shit, dude. Holy fucking hell.
A lot about the comics and stuff too. That's fucking. It's always a good learning experience.
Okay, I need to take a piss, dude.
Do it up.
Dude, Bruce. I'll be back. Where's the bathroom, by the way?
So you're gonna go straight ahead. It's not the door that's on the right side. It's the one that's straight in front of you. You see it? Right in front of you. You're going in the wrong door. Right here? There you go. Okay. He's got it. He's got it, folks. Thanks again for tuning in. You guys are awesome. David, I know you're watching. If you're watching, what the hell, dude? What the hell? Today was pretty cool. I've never been to that place to see comedy, but it was pretty legit. Kevin did say that he was going to put me on a few headliner showcases, so that's pretty sick. That would be my first time, so shout out to your boy getting on a couple of headliner showcases. I mean, I'm not headlining, but at least I open up, so fuck yeah. Practice makes perfect. Welcome to the podcast area. This is a podcast room. This is actually really late podcast. It's already going to be 3 a.m. my standard time. So we got some shit going on tonight. It was a pretty fun set though. It was a fun show. Again, Korey came back from doing 2 of them. First place in the fucking comedy contest, guys.
Dude, I'm sick of talking about myself. Fuck. I'm gonna take this show over. Fucking Angel's killing this shit, dude. He's fucking killing the comedy scene, man. He's a fucking good set at Red Door Brewing.
I'm starting, dude. I love that shit, that it's just like a buildup of how it's going on, dude. So, again, I can't wait. I'm going to be opening up for you in that December show.
Dude, that's fucking exciting, man. I want you and fucking Nico to open up for me, man. That's so great.
Sick.
So, like, what got you into comedy, dude?
The shit that got me into comedy, the first real thing that got me into comedy was watching fucking this Comedy Central show called Comedy Central Roast Battles.
Oh, yeah.
That was the really first thing that got me into comedy. Obviously, growing up, you kind of see comedians, like I've always grown up and known Dane Cook.
Right.
Well, I can't remember the guy that does the fucking joke about like the movie host guy. You know how he's like, he ends up doing like an impersonation of Arnold Schwarzenegger and shit like that. It's like,
oh, yeah.
The chopper, get down.
Oh, yeah.
The cover. I don't remember exactly who does that joke, but I remember hearing that joke at a young age and it just blew me away. I thought it was so funny.
Nice.
And that kind of got me going to do it. But I was in the same sense of you where I was like, I need to do comedy before the end of 2019.
Really?
I need
That's
to
so
do
crazy.
comedy. So I did the same thing as you. I have this notebook where I wrote a lot of stuff. I was just like, come on, this is funny ideas. Throughout the day, I was writing a bunch of bullshit and stuff.
Yeah.
And then finally one day I was like, I just got to go do it. I got to go fucking do an open mic and stuff.
When was your first open mic, dude?
September, was it? Yeah, September 1st.
Where was the spot that you did first?
Boise.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, the end of Boise. I only got to do 4 shows there, and then it closed.
I think I was there for your first set, dude.
Yeah, I think you were, dude. But it was my first set. My first set was horrible. I bombed so bad. But then that's what got me the experience to do it. And the cool thing about it too is when I did my first set, I just went all lone maverick. I didn't bring no friends. I didn't know nobody there. I was just like, where do I sign up? I signed up. Tito was like, "Oh, this is your first time? That's cool. Nice to meet you." Blah blah blah. And I went up and did it, and it was just like horrible. But that's the thing, though.
You had one good joke, I think.
Maybe, but I mean, the thing I remember the most is that I ran through my set way too fast.
Right.
I was just fucking, there was no breaks, no really crowd work of fucking. I've learned more those pause breaks really do help when you're talking to the crowd and shit. So when that shit happened, I was just like, I learned more. Second set, got a few more laughs. Third set got on. I got one joke that really killed. I was like, holy shit, that's where it's at. And then it just built up from there. It's just like you said, it's just like a progression of just kind of finding where you're at, doing the material. And then I like learning now. The open mics are the place to work out your material, and then when you get a headliner showcase or you get to do something for opening up for somebody, that's where all that work and material come into play,
dude. Yeah.
And that shit takes work. It really does. You said, you're still working on trying to make a solid 30 minutes.
Oh yeah,
get it going. You can just fucking, I know I can say this wherever I go and it's gonna hit. That's always a nerve-wracking thing to think about as well in comedy.
That's the anxiety that kind of drives you to do well, though. You know what I mean?
That's true.
If you don't have any anxiety during any set, then you're not gonna do fucking well. It's like, if you're a cocky bastard, it's like, I'm gonna do well, then you usually bomb. And I kind of went with that attitude or that sort of air after I did a really good set, and I bombed after that. So you have to have a little bit of anxiety to be okay, I gotta do fucking good. I gotta do work tonight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because if you don't have that, then you're not gonna do well. And based on what I've seen and based on my own personal experiences, yeah.
And then hearing about it too, I hear comedians were like, "Yeah, I bombed last night, but whatever." And then I'm like, "You bombed last night? Didn't that kind of discourage you or make you go down and stuff?" And they're like, "No, next one I have to do better." And I was just like, "That makes sense. That just builds you up more for trying to do harder on your next set."
Right.
And that goes back to your whole fucking guitar playing. You probably had to practice to get good at some shit, right?
Right. So Tito gave me the best advice ever. He was actually giving advice to another comedian, and I just fucking took it and ran with it. I was like, dude, you're my comedic sensei. I'll fucking listen to you. You know, whatever you say. You've been in the game for longer than me. But the thing he said, and he said that he was quoting someone else, is like comedy is the only thing that you actually need an audience to get better at.
Yeah,
you know,
I've heard that a lot
it's like
too.
you can't you can practice, like if you're a guitar player, you can practice that in your room. You can practice scales, you can practice chords, all that shit by yourself. But in comedy, it's the only thing you need an audience for. You know, or you need an audience to get better at.
Yeah, exactly.
I said that weird.
Because you kind of reflect off of them.
Right.
You kind of, I mean, you can do that on stage with the guitar and stuff too, but when it comes down to it, if you're really good, you're just going to sit there and stand there and you can be really good.
Right, dude.
That's so understandable with that shit though.
Sorry, I'm getting text right now.
No, you're cool, man. You're cool. We actually hit the hour 14 mark. So,
Did we? I love it, dude. Hell yeah.
We've been here for a while, dude.
1 hour club. God damn.
Are you, you're down to do another podcast, right?
Of course.
Yeah,
Always.
we do this all the time. Fucking, I mean, we're fucking just here hanging out, but fucking, we got to schedule a couple more. I'm gonna actually set up the living room a little bit different, so we could actually have like a multiple comic.
Oh
thing.
yeah, man.
More than like 2 or 3 of us.
Give me a guitar. I'll play a song for you, dude.
Yeah, dude. We should jam, dude. I had a guest on here.
Look at the guitar right now, bro.
I had a guest on here. Probably, I think it's episode like 43 or something. But he was a guitar player too, and we fucking just threw a jam down. Just fucking played shit. Fucking. How long have you been playing? How long have you been playing guitar?
Let's see, going on 12 years now.
Dude, why the fuck are you just describing my life? I've been playing for that.
I played guitar. Oh, so I was in the band. The band was called From the Ashes, and it was actually with my wife's family. That was one of the main things that got me in good with her dad, is that he was a drummer.
Okay.
So and I played metal. I just played metal all the time.
Yeah.
And so that got me in with their family. The brother played bass, so we had like a fucking family band, you know. So we played for maybe 2 or 3 years, and once it got the momentum where we were actually taking off, the dad and the mom. The dad was actually cheating on the mom. I had no idea.
Oh shit.
So and we did the battle of the bands, and we fucking won, dude. So, and it was so unfortunate because at that battle of the bands, we were going to go to fucking, I guess, I don't know, people who play sports, they go to regionals, you know. It was that second stage for us, is we're going to go play the next people, you know, at the next contest. But because of that issue, we never got to play. And so we never got to see what the fruition of us were. And to me, I'm fine with it because it was kind of not a dictatorship. It was more like, this is what we're going to play. You either deal with it or you don't.
So you don't think you had a lot of say into the band and stuff?
No way, because it was all family. And I even had conversations with the dad, and he says, you know, family sticks together, so don't try and separate us. And that's something that he would say. And I'm like, well, we're a band, so I'm the guitar player. I'm the main guitar player in this fucking band. You know, and he was it's a weird dynamic. So he was the drummer. He sang for us. He was also the pastor of our church.
Yeah, I get it.
He's the dad of the girl that I was going to marry. It's such a weird fucking dynamic, dude. So I had to go with he said, you know, because I'm respectful. You know, I have that traditional, you know, framework. I respect the family. I respect the
elders
dad.
And stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah, gotcha.
So, but what's hard is now that he's not in the picture anymore. He got divorced from his wife. Now it's it's a really weird sort of system. So every time I hang out, you know, it's like a really weird sort of vibe. It's like, sorry, dude. I mean, I'm not like you, you know. I don't have those issues of fucking cheating. You know, that's never, even when people, women approach me in this realm, I'm like, sorry, dude. You know, you guys missed your chance. If you wanted me to, you know, I'm married, dude. So fuck off, you know, get out of here. I'm a good wingman. I'll fucking hook my buddies up, you know, but I'm like, that's not where I'm here for. I'm here to fucking do comedy, be funny. And that's my main outlet. That's what I want, you know. I'm not going to let anyone else fuck that shit up for me.
And I understand that. That's just having a good mindset on what you're doing.
Oh shit, dude. It's just being focused, man. That's all I'm focusing on, is being, and I got the best compliment the other night from Kevin Baca, and he said that he told me, he's like, dude, and it's cool to hear it from other people, you know, but he's like, dude, everywhere you go, you fucking kill, you know, and I don't believe that in myself, you know, but he says, everywhere you go, you fucking kill. And he's like, it's good to see people who just love comedy. He's like, and that's what you are. He's like, you just fucking love comedy, and you're just going to work it. and continue to work it, and you're getting, so it's cool to see you fucking grow. And to me, that was the best compliment I've ever received. That was fucking genuine.
Yeah, you
no
felt it.
bullshit,
Yeah.
This was just like at an open mic. He was like, "Yeah, you fucking kill everywhere you come." I was like, "Oh, cool, dude. Thanks, man. I appreciate that."
And it makes sense. Like when somebody else sees it, they'll let you know.
Right,
Like,
right.
at the end of my set, like Royal like gave me the hug and he's like, "Dude, I can't believe you're
Oh,
such
dude, you
strong
killed that
finish."
shit, dude, on fucking Wednesday.
Yeah, like
You had a great set, man.
it
That
felt
was great.
good. It felt so good just knowing that, like, some validation from like higher ups and
Right.
stuff.
The people are hosting the fucking shit, right?
Yeah, that's some good. I guess
I like Royal too because he's fucking real, dude. Like I was kind of getting a little braggadocious about how like, oh, I've only been in this for 4 months, and I'm doing a fucking Cloud Top Comedy Festival, and he kind of like brought me back down.
Yeah.
He was like, well, no one gives a fuck how long you've been doing this. When you go up there, you better be fucking funny. So like, if you want to be good, you better fucking bring it. And
Yeah, because even if they wanted to, even if, say, an example, if you did have a showcase show and Royal was like, give it up for the winner or like, give it up for one of the Cloud Top, he built you
Right.
up on that sense. All that buildup still has you to perform at it. That's
have
all
to
that
meet
is.
that shit,
That's all it is like, that's kind of scarier too, is when you build that platform of building you up, you're just like, holy shit, he's giving me this thing where I'm just like, I have to do it. And I have to do it well because I've done it before and people know me as doing it well.
Right.
That's the beauty of our artwork, I guess you could say.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. Like I used to be all like gung ho about native shit, and I learned my language, and I'm ready to do leadership in my tribe. But now, I was like, I hope I don't have to do any of that shit soon because I have comedy now, and it's something I truly enjoy, and that's something that brings happiness to me to be able to like do something well.
Yeah.
And it's like, I didn't know I could do this. And that was the main thing. It's like speaking in front of people. Now I have zero anxiety when I speak in front of people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's so sick.
It's crazy. I never knew I could feel that way.
But do you think your actual, like, your musical background kind of gives you a little bit of help in that sense?
A little bit in terms of like
Stage presence.
stage presence. Oh, that was probably like... So like, yeah, I think so.
Because that's how I see it. Like, I remember playing on stage, and that's how I feel when I get on stage.
Right.
But just my instrument is different, and I have to be a little bit better because I have no backup. Like, you've known, you've been in the band, and there's those sense where you're just like, fuck, my chord just fell out, but everyone else is still playing the band good.
I played the wrong note, goddamn.
I still got it, though.
I'm all out of tune,
I can jump into it at a certain point or like step off, tune my guitar, and come back in.
Right.
You can't do that with comedy. Like,
that's the beauty of it, dude.
you're
Like
bombing and you bomb.
Right.
You're doing good. You can recover. You recover. You had a good beginning, but a rough end. It's all just there, and it's you.
Well, what I hated about being in a band, I loved my rig, and the thing that I loved about my rig is it was like almost 100% natural. So you have these guitar players, and it was just like a personal pet peeve for me. If they had to like have all these different like thousands of effects to make them sound cool,
Yeah.
like it was a thing.
I
that
hate you, dude.
bothered
You're
me,
fucking
dude.
just describing me. I'm the type of guy. Dude, this is exactly what I say. Is
Yeah.
like, if you can't just plug into the amp and sound good, then you
Yeah.
shouldn't be playing.
Exactly.
Like,
right.
if you have to put like, oh, I have like 3 tube screamers.
I have a fucking flanger going,
And not only that, I have another one that's on backup.
I have a chorus.
Yeah, right.
Fucking whatever that echo shit is. I don't even remember. It's been so goddamn long, dude.
Yeah, so I totally respect that in a sense too with
No,
music. Like, if you can just go wherever you go and be able to play.
Dude, like Randy Rhoads was my idol because not because of his like he had an amazing technique. Yeah, I saw that shit, dude.
He's a beast.
But like I loved like his idea or like his approach to guitar playing is like I use zero effects when it comes to live shit because if my playing isn't that up to par where I need like effects, then I'm not that great a guitar player. And like I loved that so much, and that's something that I really, really respected. It's like, yeah, dude, you have to be able to, like, when it comes down to it, you gotta be able to play fucking guitar. I don't give a fuck how many scales you know. When it comes down to the fucking show, you gotta fucking rock that shit.
Yeah.
It's like, you gotta fucking deliver. Because if you don't, then what the fuck are they there for, to see you for? You know what I mean?
Exactly. Because I see it now too. Is like, I don't even play the scales that I've learned and stuff anymore. It's all feeling. All of it is fucking feeling, dude. I'm just fucking having fun and just feel the music.
Yeah, and you've never seen me play guitar. Do you know Albert King?
Yeah.
Do you know how he plays guitar?
With okay, explain.
So Albert King, he plays
The blues guitarist, right?
He's a left-handed guitar player, but he doesn't play a left-handed guitar. He plays a right-handed guitar upside down. He doesn't restring it, and he plays that way.
Okay.
So instead
The
of
high
having
E
bass
is on top.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So the high E is on top. That's exactly how I play. I went to school for music theory, and I didn't like it. You know, I learned to play high E to low E. So then I can play low E to high E, but when I apprenticed as a music teacher for a while, and it taught me that this is not what I want to do. You know, I don't like this. I don't like this sort of idea.
How do you not like it? I love music,
no,
dude. It
okay, here's the
blows me
thing.
away.
No. I love music.
Okay.
I hate music theory.
No.
I hate music theory, dude.
The structure, the beauty of it, it's just like watching beautiful math.
Let me refine it. I don't like teaching music theory to fucking fifth graders.
Well, that makes
which
sense.
is what my career would have been if I, got a degree in music theory. I can read music and shit like that. I can play it, but it wasn't something that I wanted to do for the rest of my life. And like, I'm glad that I tried it. Like, I learned to read music and understand all that shit, but I didn't want that, and that's something that I didn't know why I didn't want it. I was like, I just know that that's not me.
That's crazy. That's sick. Though.
I delved in that, enough, to where I was going to college for it. And then once I started my classes, I'm like, this isn't for me. I don't fucking want this shit, dude. So like, I was like, I'm a back away from this shit.
But you still kept the skills.
No,
that you learned.
I played guitar. I still did all that shit. I played in the band. I still have an appreciation for the music. And like the different like scales and shit like that.
And you still do it, right?
Oh yeah, I play guitar every fucking day, dude.
Yeah, because that's the point. Yeah, fuck it, dude.
But it's not for like anyone else. Like I felt like, and on top of that, I felt like it was kind of selfish, to a certain degree, to be like, I just want to do music just for me. It's like, yeah, it's cool, but I'm not that well to where I can be an established artist to focus just on that. You know what I mean? Like it's something that I enjoy doing. But is it the only thing I want to do for money, And that's what it was for me. Is like, no, I don't want to do that.
That's not one of them.
No. Like, I love, like, having an amazing rig. I love having, like, a fucking great tube amp to where the sound is, like, beautiful. And then I just like the rawness of it. When I go on stage, I love, like, I turn the distortion all the way down because I like the natural distortion. When I turn my amp all the way up, I love that natural distortion feeling. And it puts me in check, too, because a lot of musicians, and you probably know, a lot of musicians who aren't up to par, they rely heavily on distortion.
Yeah.
A lot.
That's very true.
And to me, like, I don't like doing that.
Because I remember fucking a lesson that I learned from John Petrucci is like everything you ever practice should be clean first. Like even if you're doing some intricate riff and stuff, you should do it clean so you can hear the notes ring. Right. You can hear the clarity and then throw on your distortion.
Yeah,
and throw
you can't
on
hide behind distortion, dude. And like that's something that I learned. I'm like, I don't like to do that. So I'm not that technical when it comes to like John Petrucci is like amazing.
That's
people
my
who
idol,
does like
dude.
Fucking like arpeggios.
You'll love my
like
shit
that.
then, dude.
Oh yeah. No, I've seen some of your shit. It's fucking legit,
yeah,
dude.
I'm fucking. That's what I'm all about, dude. Is that shred guitar? But I wish I knew like more of the aspect of music theory. I know a little bit of the basics. I can run my majors and minors and stuff. When it comes down to it, I wouldn't be able to be like, let me grab that sheet music and fucking jam with somebody. That's a little bit more difficult. And
it's basically just like like you can be a poet. And not know the alphabet that fucking well.
Or not know rhyming structures in a certain way. Like, you know how to do a haiku? What the fuck's a haiku?
Exactly, yeah. It's like you probably do it without even knowing that you're doing it, So, like, it's not like a big thing that you're missing out on in terms of music theory, And that's kind of like what I discovered when I delved into that field. It's like, oh, yeah, this is nothing new to me because it has nothing to do with impacting the creativity of the person who I am. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And you hear your creativity inside of, because you're not following music theory at all. Like you're not trying to be
like, oh, I got an A sharp here. Where can I take this? Let me look at the fucking scale. Right. Oh yeah, this is the fifth here, so I'm gonna go there. And yeah,
this sounds happy, powerful.
If you do, you're fucking white and your shit sucks, dude. Right. Fuck that, dude. There's nothing in there, dude. Yeah. Don't mean to shit on fucking white people. I love white people, you know?
Yeah, and there's a sense
Every
of like,
family should have one. Right?
there's a sense where they fucking had the music down to a feel, but then they turned it into like a more structured kind of like discipline.
Right, dude. And that's just like what white people do, you know? Like, I like Baroque shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Baroque stuff. Like, I heard, what the fuck is that? Alexi guitar player. What the fuck?
Alexi Lehu.
Alexi Lehu.
My
He played.
idol, dude.
Yeah, he played the Vivaldi's Summer.
4 Summers, yeah.
Yeah, he played it on guitar, and that shit was brilliant, dude. I fucking love that shit so much, dude. See, I'm not at that level. Like, I can play, I can solo on fucking anything you give me and make it, like, fucking sound cool.
Yeah.
But in terms of, like, executing, like, that sort of accuracy, I'm not there. I'm not, like... In my guitar playing, I'm not to the point where I want to be there, to be honest. I want to be able to, like, use the methodology in my soloing, like arpeggios and shit like that, and to be able to use those, like, modalities and stuff like that in my playing.
With more of a feel and
With
like,
more of a feel.
Yeah.
Like, and make it, like, useful. But not to be like, oh, I hit that fucking A minor arpeggio, was amazing, dude, you know?
Because I hate, I love and hate learning that, like, oh, if you just played the major second instead of the minor second,
right.
It's a more powerful theme than more depressing. I'm just like, well,
right.
that's a little bit more different, and then it turns into more like, oh, well, since you did that, you're doing more of a Mixolydian mode.
Right, yeah.
I'm just like, fuck,
hey,
man.
dude, you play Mixolydian, you should play the Figorian scale. Okay?
Close enough that you know what you're going into.
Right. I just like... The thing I like about the modalities, like the different sort of like feelings you get within that sort of like, it's basically a scale, basically.
Yeah, with the 1 or 2 difference in it.
Right, right. I like the feeling it gives you, and that's mainly what I like about it. I don't like to be like, oh yeah, I played the Mixolydian like in the fucking D minor of the.
Do you know if I were to ask you like what is the major or what note is sharp or flattened in that scale? Do you know it?
Yeah.
Damn, you're a beast. Okay, so if we had the C Ionian, right?
Yeah.
So that is just related. That's the major scale, right? The C Ionian mode.
Ionian, yeah.
Yeah. So we have the C Ionian mode, and that has no sharps or flats, and then we go from Dorian.
Right.
How many sharps or flats does Dorian have?
Good question. I think it's like 8. 8 sharps.
8 sharps in that?
I don't even fucking know, dude.
I was about to say, what the fuck?
I don't know.
That's.
I don't have it to that level of nerdiness, but like, if you were asking me to show you like what the Dorian scale is, I could show you on the guitar.
Okay, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's the same sense too. Is like I can kind of figure it out because I know the major scale like the back of my hand. So with that, knowing that major scale,
how fucking bad did they bomb on that shit, dude? I wanted to seem cool, you know? I was like, it's 8 sharps. Like, no, it can't be all 8 sharps.
I
should have been like, it was 3 sharps.
It would have been closer to that. I would have been like, I think he's right. Because that's one thing that I'm still working on. That's what I want to learn.
That's cool, man.
What's different from how those feelings are. And like, oh, if it is right now, I'm at the Ionian mode and there's no sharps or flats.
Right.
And then if you, what is the order of modes is like, I don't particularly like modes after lunch. So I is Ionian. D.
Why after lunch? Goddamn. Why not after dinner? Holy shit, dude.
I know, right? Are you too full to play guitar or something? Jesus.
No, dude. Like, once it got to that, like, I was able to read that shit and then, like, play it and create chords based on whatever those notes were in the fucking music theory. I was like, oh, yeah, that's fucking G sharp.
Like, I get what I'm seeing.
I get what I see, and I can play that shit, you know, but... I don't know. Once it got to that level, I felt like the soul of it wasn't really there. For me, specifically. Other people can play that shit and execute it beautifully, you know? But, like, that's not the level I want to get to, you know? I want to make music that's cool.
Yeah, that's true. And in a certain sense of, like, it depends. Like, I love the fact that, like, oh, I'm a riff master.
Right.
Compared to, like, a solo master. That's 2 different subjects, man. You can be... You can't, I don't want to say you can be good at both, but it's really hard to have that aspect where you're like, dude, Pantera.
Oh,
every riff is catchy. Every riff makes you want to dance. But then you hear, but then you hear somebody like fucking, I don't know, Steve Vai.
Oh yeah,
Shredmaster. Everything's super intricate, but there's
you can't remember a lot of shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Exactly.
You can't hear them, but they're cheering. That fucking TV turned off. That's on.
Thank you. It's okay.
That TV
it's all right.
still
I got you.
Dude, we fucking hit the hour 33-minute mark.
It's alright, dude.
We're just hanging out, fucking.
I'm not even keeping time, dude.
I'm doing shit, but I mean, I guess we'll probably we'll just call it here. It was a good set, dude. Korey, you did awesome tonight.
Oh yeah, dude.
You're a beast. Thank you for coming on my podcast, dude. I really appreciate it.
Oh yeah, dude.
We got to get some more. Well, dude, you got to be a recurring guest, dude.
I'll play music next time I come on, dude.
We'll jam together, dude.
That'd be sick, dude.
We'll do a little thing now. Like once we get off the air, I'll show you. We'll see. I'll show you my setup. I'll show you some cool shit.
That'd be sick, dude.
And then we'll fucking do a podcast at the end. We'll be like, all right, guys, time for a fucking jam session. Like I'm pretty sure you know some Metallica songs, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, see, dude, we already know what's going on, dude.
Yeah.
So we can jam some shit, dude. Fuck yeah. All right, guys. Thank you guys for watching. Dude, let them know again where they can find you. All those interesting places. You can look at Facebook. Look them up on fucking. You have an Instagram, right? C Comedian, right?
So on Facebook, my name it's Korey Herrera. Korey with the Korey.
And fucking
Herrera, Herera for the white people who can't spell that shit. And then on Instagram, it's CH Comedian that's it. CH Comedian. Fucking find me, dude.
That's it.
Come check out the shows, dude. And then me and fucking this guy will do some music at the fucking next show, you know?
Fuck yeah. Make sure to tune in. Fucking.
Play some harmonies, right?
Dude.
Goddamn.
Dude, you're already fucking making me wet, dude. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Woo! Laters.
Peace out, guys. That was sick, dude.
That was fun. I want to see David Knight's fucking comments. Fucking prick.
Anything.
That's good.